Okay, welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on our first set of office hours. I'm going to turn it over to Melissa, but before I forget, don't forget to work on your business owner profile, okay? Those are going to be due by the end of next week, and I'll go over that a little bit more later. Okay, Melissa, I'm going to turn it over to you now. Melissa, is your internet working? Okay. Hopefully it'll turn back on for her. So for that business owner profile, we were talking about that earlier. Just copy and paste your homework assignments into there. It doesn't have to be perfect, and it doesn't even have to be completely done. But what that helps you to identify are other resources that you're going to need to be able to start your business. And these are personal resources that I'm talking about, okay? All right, when Melissa's internet comes back on, we'll have her talk about whatever announcements that she has, but I'm really, oh, good. All right, go ahead, Melissa. I hope it's working. Let me mute myself. Can you unmute your mic? It won't let me do it. Melissa? Okay, we'll,
do you have,
right.
Oh, do you have me now?
Yes, go ahead.
Can you hear me? I am unmuted. Can you hear me?
Yes, perfect. Do you have any announcements that you wanted to cover, Melissa, or? I think your internet is running a little bit slow. And no worries if not.
No.
Okay, now I can hear you.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yeah, why don't you turn off your video and it might make it run faster.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
I'll post in the chat.
Okay, sounds good. All right,
how's this working? Okay. I'll post in the chat. I'll post in the chat as well. Bios and headshots, and I'll move on.
Okay. All right. So while Melissa's posting in the chat, I want to introduce Jeremy Bogan. He's one of your classmates, but he is a lot farther ahead in his business. He's actually doing very well. And so they're letting him audit the course. And we're also getting to use him as the class mentor. So I asked him to be here tonight to share his journey with you and also to share any best practices. You will also get a chance to speak to him and get any of your questions answered. And I'll be here to also answer any other questions about entrepreneurship in general. Okay, I know there are a lot of questions about, the whole administrative stuff. So Jeremy, I'm gonna let you go ahead and introduce yourself and share about your business. And we're so excited to have you on this call. All right, go ahead.
All right. Well, thanks for the introduction. I appreciate you having me. And yeah, I'm a veteran. I served in the Army from 04 to 2012 and went to college and couldn't really find a job from my degrees. And I decided to start a small business. A lot of ideas I came up with every single day. None of them stuck until one day I discovered one idea that really resonated with the skills that I possess from my childhood and all through my life. And once I found the idea that worked for me, I just went full bore running into it. Along the way, I learned how to market, how to do business management, how to do my finances, bookkeeping, and this year is going to be my 9th year in business. I'm not a genius or smart or anything like that. I'm very stubborn and have a lot of drive that the Army taught me. I went in when I was 17, so a lot of those core values stuck with me. And I think this month is going to be our biggest month. We did $113,000 worth of services. So that's a huge motivator as being an entrepreneur is those checks that come through the mail every single day. And that puts a smile on my face. And A lot of hard work, and it can be done. I'm not saying I'm successful. I still have a long ways to go, and I'm learning. And I saw some of your discussions, and all you guys seem very intelligent and asking great questions. And this is definitely probably a good start to get that knowledge to move on forward to getting on the playing field, like I like to call it. It's very exciting. It's been most crazy experience of my life these last 9 years. I've had over 300 employees. I've had multiple offices, and we got a really great team that we built up over the last couple of years. And we're the leading, it's an exterior cleaning company in Syracuse, New York. And we pretty much dominate the whole entire market here. What I discovered from this business is not that I'm a roof cleaner or exterior cleaner, it's that I'm a marketer and a customer service rep. So that's what I like to think of myself. So I went through every trial and tribulation, probably still have a lot to go. And the never quit attitude that you get from the Army has helped me every single day, and a lot of other competitors who don't have that mentality. You know, they're not here and they don't hang around that much longer either. So I like being around other veterans. I like hiring them, and a lot of people give a lot of support for veterans. So I do appreciate that.
Super. That was great. Thank you, Jeremy. Did you all catch how he said that he enjoys marketing? Okay, so you're going to hear more about that when you're at the residency course, because you are your brand. But I just thought I thought that was perfect. The way he said it, I didn't say it correctly, but the way he put it was perfect. Jeremy, how did you happen to choose your specific venture? Was that something that you had already done in the past, or how did that opportunity come up?
Yep. Very good question. I never roof cleaned once in my life. I read it online, and I joined a trade show in my small town that I was in at the current time. And I told people the benefits of roof cleaning. You know, you can prolong the life of your roof to provide value. And I never cleaned a roof once. And one gentleman let me clean an awning, and then eventually I got to a roof and I had to figure it out. And I used to clean with brooms, and now we got state-of-the-art equipment, you know, probably $8,000, $9,000, $50,000 rigs with the highest, best equipment out there. Started from a broom brush. So that's kind of how I started. I was a roofer on and off in my college years. So what I did in college really helped me also with the roofing aspect. So I kind of just took all my skills of being able to climb a roof, maybe market, maybe talk to human beings, just simple things, and just put it all together. And I just really wanted to do it. I was in a tough financial position. The Army stopped my benefits, and I was in college, and I wasn't used to being broke, and just really had to find my way out of that situation. And it was after the recession, so there was really no jobs available. So kind of today's journal was on that. You know, can you start a business during a recession? I think it's probably the best time to start a business is during a recession, because then, you know, there's a lot of cheap labor, and you just got to find some value that might be of use to somebody and generate revenue from.
Very good. Very good. A lot of our students are starting businesses in new industries, and I know I personally have had to do that. So it's taken me a long time to learn my industry. So that was the perfect answer. So before I forget, let me read Melissa's announcements really quick. So she needs you to send your bio and your headshot like as soon as possible. They take all of that information and they give it to the speakers. So those classes are really being personalized for you. Please get those to to Melissa as soon as possible, because it's going to take her a while to put. There are like 22 of you, put all of that together into a packet that she's going to send to everybody. Also, she has sent information about your travel to Syracuse. So if you didn't if you didn't get it, please let her know, especially if you're flying. And if you haven't connected with your their travel agency yet, please make sure you do so either tonight or tomorrow, because that's going to come up before you know it. Jeremy, you're right in Syracuse, right? So you're good to go. Okay,
Yes,
perfect.
yes.
All right.
Thank you.
So when you're there at the residency course, you can have Jeremy looking over your shoulder as you're putting together your pitches. Just because he's going to give you a lot of good feedback. All right, good. What questions do you all have? Just, you can either have specific questions for Jeremy or just any question about entrepreneurship or the homework assignments in general. I think that his story is a really good example of what is possible with all of you, especially for those of you who are starting a venture in a completely different industry. Okay, he didn't give up. But I think it's more than that. His attitude and his willingness to learn. Okay, John has a question for you, Jeremy. Go ahead, John, and unmute your mic.
No, baby, no. Oh, baby, you put all that hair grease. Sorry, 2 seconds.
So if you're watching this on the replay video, we have a lot of little people joining us tonight. So kudos to these parents for giving this their best shot. This is, if you can thrive in this kind of chaos, you will do well as an entrepreneur. Go ahead, John.
Embarrassed. Jeremy, I'm also from Syracuse. It's nice to know that we have Syracuse people in this group. You know, it means a lot. But you said you had 6 ventures, six business ventures, but you failed. My question is, how did it take 6 for you to get that one yes, or that one go, I guess? So like, what exactly was the thing that just kept on making you restart, I guess? Does that make sense? I don't know. Correctly.
Yeah, that's a good question. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm just looking for.
Yeah, I saw more value in this service I was bringing into the public. More revenue, I guess, more money. So my goal was money driven, essentially, or providing value as much as possible. So my other ideas that I had weren't as good as this one, but I came up with a couple business ideas every day just out of practice, and one day one of those ideas stuck. So that's probably the value in that story was, I just kept coming up with a business idea. I got to come up with a business. I got to do something. There's so many businesses out there. There's so much money and value out in the world that I knew I could come up with something, or I had to come up with something. I just came up with it every single day, just the business idea, until that one kind of all clicked together and kind of fit together with my personality and kind of what I'm capable of doing.
I gotcha. On top of that, I can ask one more question, buddy. Starting a business is really hard. How is it that you assembled the correct team to strive and prosper, I guess, because it's kind of hard to find reliable, quality work affordably,
Oh my God. Absolutely. And that's the toughest thing. I use my friends, which you shouldn't do. But I had a lot of good friends that were laid off from CSX here in Syracuse, and they provided me some instant offense out in the field. And then just trying to be a good leader and be a good example as much as possible every single day. And then you'll attract those kind of people around you. And if they see you doing good things, then they'll try and do good things. And don't be afraid to fire and hire. I said, I went through 300 people. That's not a badge of honor. It's not good retention, but yeah, I made so many mistakes. I used to clean roofs with brooms. It's very tedious, and one job would take me 8 hours. Now we can do it in 30 minutes, but you just got to go through the people and learn how to market, because when you're hiring someone, it's literally marketing also. You got to learn how to market the job position that you're looking for. So being able to write down what you're looking for and just kind of hone on it a little bit each day. I only try and accomplish 1, 2, 3 things a day, nothing more than that. So it might be finding that one helper. And once you get one person to help you, then it becomes a party. So you need to find one follower, I believe. And then after that, and then a crowd starts. I studied psychology at Oswego State, and usually in like a crowd that happens. If you get more than one, if you get one person following you, and then another, and then it just kind of comes together. It kind of attracts that. So it's something that has to be worked on. And, you know, I've had to fire friends and new people, and people stole my business ideas. I've had secretaries steal my business ideas. You just got to find. Oh, what's that?
That happened to me 3 times. Like, people get my idea and then find out that like it's a great idea, but then they'll fail because they don't understand the fact that it's not just this, it's a business, you know? So
Absolutely.
Hey, Jeremy, how does that work for you in the
tough
wintertime? I'm sorry to interrupt. How's that work for you in the wintertime when you're doing that service?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I had to adapt and overcome, just like in the military. I snow blow driveways in Oswego, New York, the snowiest city in the country. And then I figured out, you know, snow and ice removal on commercial buildings, you know, very profitable. We've done $10,000 days. And so I had to kind of fill in the space. And up north, it's very difficult to find services in the wintertime. So usually we do things that people don't want to do. I'm certified in mold, so I'll clean attics and molds are my technicians now, and we do insulation. So you really got to broaden the services if something doesn't pertain to that season. This year we're going to add Christmas lights, very profitable, and a couple other services. But a lot of these ideas aren't coming from me. I found the mentors in my industry, and if you find one good mentor, they can put you 10,000 miles ahead of where you would just trying to figure out on your own.
Looks like that deer needed a mentor.
Yeah, sorry about that. I got pushed into one of my offices this evening, but glad you noticed that.
These are all excellent questions. Jeremy, I appreciate you answering everything. This is just wonderful. What other questions do you all have? I really like how you address seasonality in sales. Like, I didn't even know Christmas lights were so profitable, and it looks like people in my area are, you know, more of them are doing that. What are, oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah, there's some people, they do a couple 100,000 in the month before December, in various parts of the country on basically a lot of YouTube channels I'm on, and they'll tell, you know, share different ideas and tips along the way. And I'm sure it's like that in similar, you know, other industries also.
Okay, that's great. Do you have plans to scale your same business to other locations?
Oh, very good question. Right now I'm looking at purchasing a property in St. Petersburg, Florida, and expanding down there and kind of working on that peninsula where Tampa is. And a lot of our homeowners actually moved from New York down to the Tampa area. So that's kind of like what's in the works right now, but the housing market's so crazy down there, but we're looking to do it before the snow flies.
Okay. Yeah, I don't blame them for moving down there. Super.
Oh.
What other questions do you all have? Colin has a service-based business.
Yeah,
oh, nice. What type?
Trying to do the pallets, and particularly the plastic pallets instead of the wooden pallets, because the market kind of calling for, you know, more environmental friendly pallets to where they're easier to track and they're more reusable. And then the wood pallets, of course, they carry, they get wet and logged and all kind of stuff, and their durability is not as efficient as the plastic pallets. So I'm going to start with the wooden pallets, or starting with the wooden pallets, and then kind of gear into that plastic to kind of try to catch that market, because that market is expanding and more grocers and pharmaceutical companies are, you know, aiming towards the plastic pallets, and then at some point move into the containers and things like that to kind of keep the business. My business setup is a little different, but as I've been saying in my posts and discussions, that I have the organization here, the NVBDC organization. They kind of set it up to where, if you're a disabled veteran and you complete that certification process, they'll bring the business to you. These guys have checkbooks waiting there to try to find veteran-owned businesses or companies, which Jeremy, you should look into that too, man. It's like you all kind of set up for it. And definitely you could, it's called a $1 billion roundtable. And all of these companies are obligated and committed to promoting these disabled veteran-owned businesses. And they're at the table saying, hey, we got a checkbook. Who has pallets? Who has a roof cleaning business? Who has whatever service or product you have, and you've completed the certification? It opens up, you know, just these guys are there looking to get on the database. And this database has every type of service and product for people who've been certified. And so these companies go directly to that database and put in their request. So it's almost like you got a customer. I got a market and a customer. It's just getting set up to, because when you push the green button, they're not going to be, hey, I need 10,000. You need 10,000 pallets. I got to get to 10,000 pallets, and I want to just be solid in my way of doing that.
Wow, that is a really awesome idea and great value. And the big issue of getting the customer, sounds like you got that down. And the making the pallet, it sounds like you need to get a team together, and maybe a possible loan could help you out in that regard. But that's an awesome business, and there's a big pallet company up here in Syracuse that does very well, and it's a nice industry, and everybody loves working for that company, from what I heard. But I can definitely see some value in that for sure. And part of me, being involved in this stuff too, is getting certified, like what you're saying, to get to that round table. Also, I just always kind of push that back to the side. It's always been so busy, but I think definitely there's some value in that to get on that. Oh.
Super. So I think John also has a service-based business. I don't know if that's what you're going to be doing while you're at Syracuse, John. And then Patsy has a retail business. Patsy, I just had an idea. I know you're designing Christian shirts, but you could design any kind of t-shirt, right? Like uniform t-shirts.
Indeed.
All these service-based businesses.
I'm inspired by the service-based exchange here. So, you know, my mind is open. It's like, oh, okay, I'm going to start here. But again, Jeremy and everyone that's on the call, John and Colin, thank you all for sharing your ideas and your questions, because it does make you think deeper. You know, he said he had 6 other ideas and paths that he went down to find the right one that actually fit, you know, that was going to be the most profitable and most beneficial to him, that he found passion with. So I think that's what this whole process is doing for me right now. This first week is like things I hadn't even thought about. So each day I'm learning something and writing things down to go back and to look at and to keep an open mind. And exactly what you said, be a support. There's some uniformity there for all these businesses. So thank you.
I had a friend in Atlanta. He was looking for business ideas, and he said just got in his car one day and started driving around, and he said, what do you see everywhere? And he said, parking lots. So with these parking lots, you see the handicapped, you see the potholes. So he just started being a middleman for like asphalt companies to go find these parking lots and repaint the handicap and the lines and pretty much patch up potholes and pretty much took off. He's down in Florida now, Jeremy, but he was in Atlanta. But he does real well with that, you know, just that service, you know, looking for everybody has a roof, you know what I mean? So, you know, you can't lose with that.
And once you exercise that muscle of looking for that value, thousands of ideas come your way. Like the t-shirt thing, very awesome idea. And you can take that and spin it in other ways, and that's awesome. That's that mindset. And you know, you're looking at that, oh, parking lot, oh, you know, stripes, okay. Well, you're going to see some other things too, and and that's awesome. You're in the right direction, and that's what it is. Coming up with that idea. Okay, is this going to work? And putting some ethanol on it and seeing if it does. And sometimes it don't, but sometimes it does. That's awesome.
Super. John, I don't know if I've had to hide from my kids too, so it really shows your resilience and your quick thinking. You have all the makings of an entrepreneur. And we don't mind hearing him at all. So if you have any questions or any comments for Jeremy, go right ahead and unmute your mic.
I just got one more question for Jeremy, I guess. My biggest thing, Jeremy, is I don't understand, how do you find value in every one potential employee? You said you've been through 300, but you said that you fired 300. So my question is, what value did they bring to the table, and what exactly is the one thing that led to them being let go? If you don't mind me asking that question. Is that specific enough, or is it not really?
Yeah, that's a good question. What makes a good employee? It could be, showing up, effort. You got to be around people who you enjoy to be around. And I think that's one of the greatest things about being an entrepreneur. Haven't really thought about it too much, but you really got to enjoy the people who you work around. So if you don't, you're not vibing, they don't show up, they don't put the heart or effort into it, then, it's probably not a good fit. And then after a while, you kind of find a middle ground. Okay, this person does this and doesn't do that. It kind of really depends on your own value, what you accept and what you don't accept. So what I learned is when you get a new employee, you got 2 weeks to kind of train them. Within that time frame, I try and teach them all the good habits and no bad habits, because I used to teach them bad habits at just being myself, not terrible habits, but you want to show them in the first 2 weeks of, showing up on time, putting effort in, staying a little bit longer, and then it ingrains in them. That's what I've noticed with some of the people I've worked with. And but showing up is the biggest thing, because you could have Michael Jordan on your team, but if he doesn't show up that one day, then he's not as good as that the lesser employee, I would have to say. So definitely a skill set, something that always must be combed over. And once you find the team, though, it's a great thing. It's a great accomplishment, and they can produce money, and a team working together is a phenomenal thing.
Jeremy, how did that work for you with family members? Did you use family members?
Yeah. I try not to do work for family or friends. If a family or friend asks me to do work for them, I do it for free. I had one of my stepfathers work with me, and he was a phenomenal worker. My significant other has helped me also. So a couple key people. But a lot of my friends who I had in college, I don't communicate with no more and stuff like that. So it can go bad. If you have a close friend or anything like that, because it changes the business. I'm very much business oriented, and I want to succeed and stuff like that. So sometimes you might not have a friend no more after that. So that's the only thing I would say.
Yeah, I had
just be careful with it.
I had two partners. We started out, and like you said, high school football, all that kind of stuff. And then it's like when it gets down to it, it turned into an ego thing, and it's basically we're not friends. We're not. It's like the Michael Corleone. It's family. It's business. It's like we're this is not no friend thing. And I just wanted to touch base on that, because it's just really I'm just. You had to do this stuff by yourself for a minute, I suppose.
Absolutely. I did it by myself. I actually lost my I had a son and a significant other, and that didn't work out, and I still had to operate, even after like a divorce. I still went to my jobs, got it done. I even had an injury. I fell off a ladder that someone else put up, and the next day I went to the job by myself and got the job done. My guys, they felt bad for me on a Sunday and came out, but yeah, it's kind of the grit you got to have, and try and stay away from the friends and family. It's not a bad thing in the beginning, but that's just my opinion.
Jeremy, it's okay to say ex-wife, man.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
These are all great comments. Jeremy, most of these students are in that early startup phase, and so they're feeling very under-resourced. What are some things that you would recommend to help them as they're trying to get their businesses off the ground? And I know that we do tend to rely on family and friends initially, but might not always be a good thing, right?
Yes, there's so many things I hone in on focus, but when I first started, I didn't know any of it. So sometimes it's hard for me to think back to day one, even though I try and retain those things to maybe possibly help somebody else. The biggest thing, if you're getting the biggest things in business, I think that are important are a good bookkeeper and marketing. I'm a relentless marketer. I'll always, I'll put flyers up everywhere. I'm not sure what others, you got to be a relentless marketer. I think whoever markets the best in business that day is going to be the winner. And I was told in the beginning, 30 minutes of flyering a day will get you a job. And that might be in other areas of business, but in a service-based business, the marketing, if you didn't have the resources, it's tough. Marketing can help you get an employee, marketing can help you get a job, but something that provides like instant cash for you or instant revenue can help you get other things. Knowing your budgets, know that marketing is a good way of spending money and don't be afraid of it. So we budget 15%, if not up to 20% of all revenue goes back into marketing. So that keeps the engine alive. And I try never to lose a day. I never try to have a negative revenue day. I always got to have a positive day or a win. If I have a losing day, I'll go do something to try and get a small victory, whether it's go to the gym or sign up for a class or a program to kind of help minimize that loss. So I always try and stay positive and move forward. And if you do those things every day, you'll get somewhere in a better direction.
Super. That was excellent. Thank you. What resources did you use early on that really helped you? Like did you use a procurement technical assistance center to get some of your contracts? The SBA?
That's a good. Yep. So one resource, I forget this. I used the student loan for $2,400 and I bought my first power washer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yep. And I would print out flyers at my college, and in between my classes, I would go out and stick these flyers in people's mailboxes, and that's what I did for a long time.
That is
Wrote your
great.
website. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Sandra.
No, go ahead, Colin. That's fabulous. So that's a real creative way to bootstrap. Colin, when you get a chance, type into the chat room what we talked about earlier about Voc Rehab and the funds that are available.
Okay.
So like for you, Patsy and John, that'll help you buy some startup equipment. Okay. So, but I like what Jeremy did, because those rates are really inexpensive too. So, and they can get deferred. So you didn't get to work with a procurement technical assistance center counselor or anything? I don't even know if they had those back then. The government has so many programs available now to help small businesses. Okay, just
Yeah, no, I never.
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry, I didn't interrupt you. Yep, I didn't really use any of the programs. I used some of the local resources, like the one trade show that kind of got me the ball moving. That would be the one thing, I guess.
Okay. So they do have trade shows there. So John, maybe you can get connected there too. And then Patsy's going to be doing a lot of those conferences. So that's great.
How did you approach your website, Jeremy, when you had that created?
Oh, the CMY roof cleaning?
Yeah, for your company, your website for your company.
Yep. So I created the website immediately when I just, wanted to create the business. And my main goal was to be #1 on Google. And I did that in 3 weeks. There wasn't really an industry here. So day and night, I worked on this, website. It's not the one that you see today, but I really wanted to get #1 on Google. I saw the value of being #1 on Google and also being able to use Google Satellite. I really wanted to use that tool. I thought it was powerful, but I built the website, and now my significant other, Sally, she's a great graphic designer, so she does most of the marketing material. She was the one person that really helped snowball the company because she believed in it and her design work because she authored other books and stuff.
Well,
Yeah.
it looks great.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I'll let her know. And it's all about finding whoever's the best at whatever it is. If a guy comes in the business and he's better at me than something, then, I kind of put that task to him.
So Melissa, I'm not sure if she will talk about it, but while you're at the actual residency, before you graduate, they're going to sit you down and they're going to talk about some of the resources that you'll have available. When I graduated years ago, we were able to get discounted website services as a graduate of EBV. So just keep that in mind. It'll be a really good way to save some money. You can even, if you have the skills or at least the willingness to learn, there are some free sites that you can start for now. Okay, just to get it out there. That'll be important, especially if you want to trademark your name, because they're going to do it based on whenever you publish something on that site. Okay, good. Can you talk about the bail team, Jeremy? I know that at this point, not everybody's going to be able to afford a bail team, but just talk about how, how you've utilized that and maybe some best practices that you want to share.
Oh, for the bail team?
Yeah.
In regards to what is the bail team?
The banker, accountant, insurance, and lawyer.
Yes. Yep. Yep. Those are very important things. Those are the most important things. My accountant and my lawyer are my two most favorite people on the planet. One protects me from the federal government, and one protects me from criminal adventures and stuff like that. So those two people I couldn't exist without them. Just like finding a good doctor or a good mechanic, it's a great asset to the team. So the accountant will keep you straight, and the lawyer will protect you. I just recently got an insurance guy, so I didn't complete the whole bail thing. So I'm still learning myself. So the insurance guy was very helpful too. But yes, I'm glad you touched base, because in the beginning, you don't quite know that. If you never had an accountant, you might have used H&R Block. And that's where a lot of my knowledge came from, was finding a good accountant, and they will just steer you in the right direction. And I loved it. Love getting, a good lawyer and an accountant.
Very good. Thank you. And they'll cover this more at the residency. There will be some services that you'll get either pro bono or at a discounted rate to include, legal. But that is something that you definitely want to look at as you keep moving forward with your business. So Patsy, for you, I can definitely see you wanting to protect your intellectual property. And then for all of you, since you have the opportunity to go into procurement, is to protect your trade name. Just because once you start making money, people are going to start to copy you. And then it wasn't in this class, but there was another class where one of the IVMF graduates, who is one of the top 100 fastest growing veteran-owned company, he said that somebody started their own business with his same company name, and just a lot of similarities. And it was a way to get some of those contracts. Okay, he's also a service business, so just something to consider. All right.
Wow.
Yeah, Jeremy, I really see you getting a lot of federal contracts. So I was kind of surprised that you haven't worked with a counselor through the Procurement Technical Assistance Center, because you could easily bid anywhere in the country and just form a team.
Oh my God,
Mhm.
that's wonderful. Oh my God, yeah, that would be a huge opportunity, and we've been prepared. And I've had people kind of mention it. I've just never took it serious, but meeting some of your staff and hearing your story and everybody else, it sounds like a phenomenal program and direction to go in.
Yeah, you're going to grow, and with your IBMF classmates, there's going to be a lot of teaming going on. I mean, that's how Chris grew, and then several of our students, several. So don't be surprised. Same thing with Colin and that palette. And then John, you're probably going to meet Chris Damback when you're out at Syracuse. He started off as a landscape business.
Yeah, I know Chris. I know Freddie and Chris.
You know Chris? Did he refer you?
Part of my mentor, he told me you don't have to be number one. They just have to believe you're number one. And the stuff with
There you go. There you go. And then with the certifications, Patsy, you have to have a different niche. And I'm telling you, you need to target these service companies and make little uniforms for them or something. I don't know. You need to capitalize on
I'm
this.
taking notes. I'm gonna roll up my sleeves too.
There you go. They're gonna take care of you.
I'm gonna get out here. For sure.
And then also for all of you service businesses, a lot of the students have grown through a program called VIP, Veteran Institute of Procurement. I don't even know what those acronyms are for. Here it is. I'm going to put the link in the chat, and then I will share it with you. But this program is designed specifically to grow your business in stages. Okay. And they provide the network so that you can start partnering with these different organizations. Their goal is to help you outgrow your small business status. None of you in this group are developing something proprietary, but if you do, I'm gonna put another resource here, because this is my company, we're intellectual property. And there are some of your classmates who are doing something similar. There are grants through the Small Business Innovation Research Center. So if you have a long R&D process, maybe Colin has something else going on the side, and he's going to develop some new technology for the Internet of Things, and he needs funding for that R&D period, the SBIR is where you want to go. Okay, so we're an educational technology company, and we're going to be developing literacy programs that teach through a different method. But I can't share that because then somebody will steal my idea. Like, why would people want to steal your idea if they don't even know how to do it, right? They're not going to get it right. So anyway. All right. What other questions, comments do y'all have? You guys are going to have a lot of fun together at Syracuse.
So Sandra, you're not going to be at Syracuse with us?
No, I won't be there. I just teach for basically all of their beginning entrepreneurship courses. So no, I won't be going. Plus it's so hard for me to get out of Lawton, Oklahoma with these American airline flights. So no.
Gotcha. Jeremy, thank you for sharing your story. Look forward to seeing you and the rest of the team at Cohort while we're at Syracuse. Sandra, I have a question about the business owner profile workbook, but I'll reach out to you separate from this recording because I need your clarification on a couple of things.
Okay, sure. Yes.
Also have a question, Sandra.
Sure, John.
You told me that there was a way for me to, I think you said it was a way to turn your book into an audio book to relieve.
Yes. Okay, so let me find a PDF. Do you want me to show all of you?
Okay. I have an idea.
I'm going to share my screen really quick. So, okay. So when you are on Adobe Acrobat, just use the free version. And I think it's under View. Hopefully you can see this, but if you go to the bottom, it has a read out loud function, and then just click on the activate read out loud. So that's all you have to do. It's not going to be a great read, but it's better than having to keep reading this when you're tired. And then every computer or device is different. you can adjust the lighting on here, so it's not going to hurt your eyes. And then there are some screen readers. I want to say, let me drag this over really quick. I think it's called JAWS. I'm going to have to look it up, but I think that here it is, JAWS screen reader. If you can't get that one to work, wait, I clicked on the wrong one, but it's somewhere down here. Here it is. And this will help you if you can't get Adobe Acrobat to read it out loud correctly. Okay. All right. What I'll do later is when I post this recording, I will put those links and hopefully that'll help a little bit. Okay. If you need more time on the assignments, for this reason, just let me know. And if you need me to personally go over your some of your homework, we're not doing the feasibility analysis tool here. Just let me know and we'll schedule something for after this course ends. All right. Okay. So I am very flexible. I'm willing to work with you guys. This program was extremely beneficial for me. This was just an idea when I started and I couldn't have gotten it off the ground without IVMF. You will have a lot of good mentors while you are out there and as you continue throughout the program, going to the conferences and maybe enrolling in some of the other entrepreneurship courses. Okay. All right. So, we have more time, but if you don't have any more questions, I'm not going to keep any of you. All right. Is there anything else that we can cover or?
Well, Jeremy, I appreciate your time, man. And I'm looking at your website and it's outstanding, man. It's pretty cool. So just you really motivating my venture here.
Yeah,
Oh my God, appreciate that. Yeah.
Those
That's
pictures
awesome.
made a big difference, those before and after pictures. I was like, boy, I wish you were here in Oklahoma.
I'll come out there, Sandra. I'll come out there, get up on that roof.
There you go.
I appreciate the love, you guys, and thank you. And all you guys are awesome. And I'll be more than willing to help any fellow veterans or any ideas, especially Johnny's in Syracuse. So that's awesome that you guys listen to me and are motivated by that. I appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Anybody else have anything for Jeremy before we let him go?
Am I muted? I kind of have a question for Jeremy.
Thank you.
Go ahead, John.
As an entrepreneur, since most of us, since you're further ahead than us in the beginning phase, what exactly was your daily ritual, such as how much time did you commit to your business compared to what you're currently standing at now? Like, did you delegate some of your time and tasks, or is that something that you just fully commit to yourself?
What a great question. What a great question. In the beginning, I was 25, so I still had a lot of college friends. I would still try and carry on a life, of going out and having friends and going to celebrations and stuff like that. Now I'm more business focused. Now I'm like what you would consider, focusing on my morning habits to kind of streamline to do as much as I possibly can within the day. So now I'm really more focused on my habits than I was when I was in the beginning of my my journey of being an entrepreneur. Now I try and have good morning habits. I'm still working on it, but that's a very good question because your habits each day are going to send you in a direction for the good or for the worse. So I try and exercise every day. I try and read. I try and read my YouTube and all that good stuff. But that's a great question. You just thinking about that means a lot.
All right, man. I feel like I put you on the spot. Sorry, man.
Oh no, it's all good. It's all good. It's making my brain think. And I see you had a little one, and my son really was a motivating factor for me. to make me a better person and to be a better business owner, so I didn't fail with, in his eyes. So just a little extra on top of that.
That was really helpful. That's the first thing to go is people will neglect themselves working long hours to get their business off the ground. So I'm glad you heard it from Jeremy. Okay, it's important to take care of yourself too. And your family. Yeah,
and there's going to be a lot of people that leave your life if it's a sacrifice. There's going to be some people who you can't cater to or have the time to cater to, and they're going to be disappointed. And I guess that's part of life, and you got to pick and choose. If you want to be successful and own a business, then there's going to be a little bit of sacrifice on the back end. So it's what I've discovered.
How do you deal with people who envy your success, Jeremy?
Not very well. I'm motivated by, probably like a drill sergeant, like negative comments. And so like if I get a compliment or something, I don't like receiving them. Not in general. I appreciate it, and when someone's sincere, but it's always in the back of my mind, oh, you're successful, this, then you tend to coast along. So to stay hungry and stuff, I'm always battling in my mind, you got to improve on this, you got to do that. So I try not to get comfortable with compliments like that. What a great question.
I see everybody thinking about this. I say this because relationships change as your business grows, and you'll see that among your family and friends, some of the comments that they'll make.
Yeah,
haters.
It's strange how, there's a lot of haters out there, It's good. I use it all as motivation. I take all negativity and turn it into positive, and it's a form of energy, so it can be used in a good direction.
It is refreshing to hear this, because you got to find ways to stay positive and focused, because people just take it for granted that you're not working hard, that things can't come easily for you. And, you have a great example right here with Jeremy.
And that's a wonderful point, Sandra. And you get a little success, people come ask money and they think it's just easy here, you just, money comes to you and stuff like that, but it really comes down to your character, attracting the money, and the hard work, and it's not easy. So they don't see that part of it, a lot of other people from outside perspective.
Super.
So.
You all of you who are watching this, I know how hard you're working, so don't let those comments get to you. Okay, you're going to take what you do and help others with that.
I gotta admit, I am gonna show those two partners who quit. I'm gonna really give it to them when they. I'm gonna be like y'all like the Beyonce situation when the girl quit Destiny's Child and stuff, and they got all famous. So that's the attitude I'm taking with that one.
Okay.
All right. I think we have time for one more question. I'm going to let you guys go because I know a lot of you haven't even eaten dinner yet.
Just thankful that we're in this like-minded entrepreneurship starting. This is our launching pad. And thank you again, Jeremy, and thank you, Sandra, for sharing your experiences to help us grow, to know that you've already been there, you've already gone through these stages. And like when we're thinking things and questions are coming up, it's like, oh yeah, my experience is a little different. similar, but we all have to start somewhere and continue to pursue that dream and work hard for it. And it doesn't stop, just because you've launched your business. And as Jeremy said, 9 years into his business now, he's still thinking of new ways and ways to expand his business, whether it be from season to season and branching off into other areas. So it's like a constant, because you see other businesses that add different things onto them. It's like, well, you're already making so much money. Why are you going in a different direction? Because that's what it's about, right? Continuing to grow and learn, follow the market, follow the trends. So again, I thank you for the true testimonies to be real examples right here in front of us that we can learn from.
It is very liberating to know that you can control your destiny. And, I think you've all hit upon it with being able to come up with different opportunities. It's just, and it's exactly what Jeremy said about the mindset. You learn this skill set of how to approach and solve problems, and then it opens up other opportunities for you. That's why you see people become serial entrepreneurs. And that's the goal of this course specifically, is to teach you that. Okay. And the benefit for all of you is that you are going to get to learn from each other and from some great mentors who are going to be at the residency with you. All right. Okay. All right. Last chance, last call for anything else before we end. All right. Jeremy, thank you so much. We really, really appreciate. And I hope you come back next week. And if you're available, we would love to have you come back and answer more questions, and hopefully we'll have other students joining us too. And thank you all of you for joining us, and especially those of you who are going to be watching the replay video. All right. Okay. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me or to Melissa if it's related to the residency course. All right. Make sure you are following up on everything that she's sending you, especially for your travel. That needs to get done really quickly. And then I will be going through your homework assignments and getting you your grades and your feedback soon. All right. Okay. Keep up the great work. See you guys next Wednesday. Have a safe and happy 4th of July. All right. All right. Bye, everyone. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Take care.
Thank you.